Beautiful. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We're rolling live here, so you're going to see us on YouTube. Obviously, if you're listening to us on the podcast link, we appreciate that. I will be doing it on SoundCloud. Hoping to get that shit up on iTunes as well sooner than later, but
it's more difficult than you think.
It is.
It is.
It really is. There's a lot
Stressful.
of shit. It is. It's definitely stressful, but bottom line is I don't want to miss an opportunity to put it out any which way I can. So therefore, I got the YouTube channel, I got the audio side, whatever. So if there's a place to get it out, like Instagram, like 30-second videos, I do that shit now. So if there's a way to get this message out, what we're doing right now, believe me, we're going to be on that channel. But Smitty from Barstool Sports in Philly, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise if you got love for Smitty. Yeah.
General one clap. That's usually how it rolls.
And the crowd is going crazy. Yes. PhillyInfluencer.com is the site that I am running right now. This is podcast. Believe it or not, I've been doing it solo, Smitty, but as I just talked about in the Periscope, and for those that are just joining us right now, tuning in, dude, I think you're one of the more talented. Do you see Pornhub? You see Pornhub right up there?
Yeah, that's like the that's the sixth most frequent thing coming up on your Google.
That is great. Pornhub is right now on my computer. There's 9, 12. There's 12. There's 3, 6, or no, there's 4. There's 12 right there. It's the bottom one, but still. I mean, Pornhub. Come on, you gotta check it out, see who's in, see who's not. But Smitty, back to the serious side of things if we could. Dude, I think you're one of the more talented dudes, and I'm going to consider you media. You are media. You get your message out there. I know it's scary, but you have to give it up, and people got to realize that new media it's here. It's been here. Dude, you were ahead of the game with Barstool in Philly, obviously with Crossing Broad as well. You guys are media, and I think you are one of the better ones out there. You're crazy, you're not scared to put yourself out there, you're funny, you're quick, so dude, I greatly appreciate you hopping on, and I wish that I was able to do shit with you when I was doing stuff with that station, because that's how much I believe in who the fuck you are.
Thank you, Sean, I appreciate it right back at you, and I appreciate you bringing up our direct competitor also in that kiss ass.
Oh, here we go, yes, I apologize, yes.
There's going to be a lot of apologies.
Yeah, there probably will be,
both ways.
Hey, so the podcast and what I wanted to do was I wanted to kick things off with a provocative statement, all right? Nothing crazy, just, you don't have to say that the Eagles are going to win a Super Bowl. It doesn't have to be sports related. It could be whatever. Just give me something provocative off the top of the head that's been hitting you. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on in this country. You can't give me something that you've been talking to yourself underneath your breath in the last 72 hours like, are you fucking kidding me? They're really doing that.
I mean, something I could say on air, not especially, but I mean, you threw this out at me last second, which, I appreciate, fly by the seat of your pants. I can promise you over the next, 45 minutes, I will say more than one thing that I'll probably get in trouble for. But I mean, provocative, I'm not a real social looking at things from the outside perspective, outside the box guy. So I mean, if you're going to go, I'm going to take the cheap way out and just say, fuck Ruben tomorrow with everything. Everything. He is just taking this city. I mean, it's not just Ruben Amaro, it's Pat Gillett too, because he's the one making the decision. He's making the final call. And with Cole Hamels going down tomorrow for a pulled hammy, just shows you how incompetent this fucking organization has become, because this time last year, Cliff Lee's wing was falling off. They couldn't get rid of him. Now he's $25 million in the hole hunting and fishing in Arkansas, and the same exact thing is going to happen to Cole Hamels, and it's depressing. It's absolutely depressing.
Honestly, how hard did they have to work to be this bad? It's amazing how bad they are right now.
It's like the Factory of Sadness video. Like, statistically, you should be able to put together one good move every once in a while instead of being this statistically bad at every single thing that you do. And I really can't, other than Papelbon, who is legitimately the worst personality in Philadelphia sports history. I mean, his level of douche knows no bounds. He's up there, dude. He is just a jackass, personality-wise. He's the all-time leader in saves for Philadelphia, and people hate him. People hate him.
Yeah.
I guess if they brought him a World Series, he'd be considered more of a hero. But the fact that they lose games and they suck, it doesn't matter how individually good you are. if you're an asshole, you're an asshole.
And I love, obviously, off of your provocative tweet or your provocative statement to kick things off. I'm going to give you mine in just 1 second. But, dude, one of the funnier things. Yeah, mine is going to be funny. You're going to be like, what the fuck did you just say? But I love what you're putting on Twitter. And I know you mean this like in a joking matter because you are a diehard Philadelphia sports fan. But I hate this team. Is brilliant. I mean, it's just brilliant when you put it out there. It's so simple and plain, but it gets right to the point.
I do. I loathe it. I loathe this organization from the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
Like, it's embarrassing what they've done. There's nothing greater than back in the day, back in the glory days, even before 2007.
5 straight years.
Even before that, when they were competitive.
You're right.
Going down to the ballpark, tailgating on a Saturday afternoon, watching meaningful baseball under a packed crowd, under the lights. Mm-hmm. And now I'll still go down to the games because I'm still a diehard baseball guy, but I mean, it's not the same. It's frustrating. It tears you inside out. And they don't get that. Especially when they come out, and especially this weekend when Ruben Amaro says, oh, I didn't think we played that bad. Hey, motherfucker, you lost 9 games in a row, including an 0-8 road trip. They haven't gone 0-8 on the road since 1883. When they were freaking drawing carriages back and forth. Like, it doesn't, you can't say we didn't play that bad when that hasn't happened in over 150 years.
No.
Like, it's frustrating.
It's frustrating to the point that I watched the 19-3 beatdown the other night, and that's probably the first game I've watched in like 3 weeks. I kid you, like anyone. I can't even tune in.
From the top to the bottom, that was one of the most embarrassing losses of Philadelphia sports history.
Ever. Oh, it was atrocious. Here comes another home run. Gone. How does Sandberg return from that? It's not. Look, I don't think he's the best manager in the world. I think he's got his flaws, but he never had a chance for success. No,
and I think he's a very mediocre manager. Yep. If you did have talent around him, but just the way he's handling some things, like that exchange with Ken Giles last week, when Ken Giles was going ham on the pitching coach, and Sandberg came over and kind of cooled his jets a little bit, but it's either you go one way or another. You get really into his face, or you be the player's manager. I think he's very uncomfortable in his own skin how to play things right now, and it won't help at all if he was freaking Billy Martin out there,
sure,
or Casey Stengel, or Connie Mack. Like, he could be whoever. He could be a fucking love child of all three. You're not going to win. You're not going to win with this team. And it's a shame because he finally got his chance. He probably should have got his chance with the Cubs. Yep. But maybe the Cubs saw right through it. Maybe he's just like, oh, this guy.
He had success in Lehigh Valley, though.
He did.
You know? I mean, and you heard guys like Don Brown speak up from their experience with them. Don Brown, geez, I'm sorry that I didn't bring his name up. But, there were some people that I grew up a Sandberg fan. So part of me was like, look, this guy knows baseball. I like that sort of thing when they were hiring him.
He's a second greatest second baseman of all time behind Roger Swinsby, in my mind. Maybe Joe Morgan's up there, but Joe Morgan's a dick. So I'm putting him down.
Dude, you have no idea.
Oh, I have an idea.
I called Joe Morgan once, and he goes...
What, when you were producing?
Yep. And I go, and my boss at the time knew what his response is going to be. There's certain guys that are just complete douchebags. Dennis Eckersley, huge douchebag.
Really?
Oh yeah, you call him, he's like, he could be like, it'll be Sunday afternoon, he's on his couch, he's like, I'm just walking out of the house, goodbye, hangs up. Joe Morgan goes, son, how did you get this number? He sunned me. He was like, son, how did you get this number? I'm like, Joe, big fan, you're producing Kiss His Ass, whatever you gotta do to get him on, that's the goal. Son, how did you get this number? You better not call me ever again, lose my number, and hung up. He sunned me, huge dickhead.
Sunned you.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there.
It'd be like if you called him and you went, boy.
Yeah,
like,
boy.
It'd been awful.
Obviously, I don't have to reset, but I'm so stoked to get you on. Smitty from Barstool, Philly. Check him out. Follow him on Twitter. Over 27,000 followers. Listening to this guy, reading his tweets every single day, man. You put a shift in. You're doing impressive work over there at Barstool Sports. I want to get the history of Barstool, but the provocative statements, I want to get your take on this.
Sure.
You got yours. Here's mine. That's right, Delaware Valley. I'm thinking about getting married.
I mean, that's... How old are you? You're
34.
Yeah, I mean, 34, you got a nice girl.
Yep.
She's got a nice job right now.
Finally.
She's very not going to get that personal.
No, but just...
I mean, she's every time I've met her and hung out with her, she's very personable, very nice, she's very pretty, I mean, if you got a lockdown situation, you lock it down.
I don't have, no time frame or anything like that, but it's for the first time. For me, I'm going to be really cheesy about this, but Will Smith and Jada, and I think they're still together, God bless, but 10 years ago, I think, they were like, divorce is not an option. That's the way I view this. I promise you.
As hardcore Roman Catholic.
I don't give a fuck. We are never getting divorced. So that's the way I look at it. I don't think people look at it like that, and they should, because obviously they don't. Because and people go through different situations. Yeah. We get that, and things do change 10, 15 years down the road. All that, nothing's perfect. But for me, personally speaking, this is a huge step.
No, I think the biggest step in a relationship isn't marriage. I think it's the move-in. Once you move in, that's the biggest commitment in the world. Because once you get married, okay, it's symbolic, it's all that happy crap. Once you move in with each other, that's when you really know if you can spend the rest of your life with someone. Yeah. And you took that plunge. I took that plunge before with the girl. Didn't exactly work out.
It's all right.
That's why we're single. Maybe not happily single, but we're single.
I lived with a girl before this, my previous relationship, and it just fucking went south.
You gotta know. You gotta test drive the car before you buy it.
Yep.
And
So I'm 34. I've been with her for I think we met in Sea Isle on the Polar Bear Plunge at Lacoste. That's right.
That's an excuse for divorce right there. Alright. We're getting onto that in marriage.
Tell me about it. So,
Polar Bear Plunge, Lacoste meetup.
I think this. So we're over 3 years. We're past the sniffing butt stage, is what I like to say. That's for sure. But for the first time, and just recently, a couple weeks ago, I'm like, holy fuck. She's not giving me shit, but she jabs.
I'd rather have a jabber. You can shoot the shit with, rather than someone just completely complacent and not telling you how it is. I want someone up my ass.
She's like, oh, what am we looking at, 2020? I'm like, I'm unemployed right now, so I don't know. She's like, you want to borrow money? I'm like, no. But, hey, Steven Singer, you want to sponsor the podcast? I think we could work something out. But,
good for you. Yeah, cheers. That's a big decision.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's funny. So that's my provocative statement that I wanted to get out there. I wanted to get your feel on that, and I'm glad you're on board. She is a good girl, man. She's a keeper.
I am nowhere near making any sort of statements like that.
No.
Maybe like a couple decades.
Each their own, I guess.
Yeah.
Obviously, we do sports in this city, and when you talk about the Philadelphia sports scene, oh my goodness, it's so bad right now. But if we could, let's bring up the sun just a little bit, I think. Chip Kelly and the Philadelphia Eagles, a lot of turnover, a lot of change this offseason, Smitty. Did you like the moves? What didn't you like? Open-ended question. Just when I say Chip Kelly, Philadelphia Eagles 2015, you say what?
I say there's no choice but to like the moves, because once Howie Roseman was demoted, and that was a demotion, even though it was a promotion in a demotion, or demotion in a promotion. Once that happened, you gave Chip Kelly his team exactly what he wants to do. That's why you brought him in. You let him do his thing. He's got the keys to the castle. Otherwise, what's the point? What's the point of bringing him in if you're not going to let him do I don't care if it's every little thing, from making milkshakes during lunch or trading your star running back and bringing in God knows who. Trading away your star quarterback for an injury-prone former number 1 overall pick. It doesn't matter what he does. You got to sit back. You might not like it, but you have to accept it. And I absolutely hate, especially when I have to write blogs about this, I don't want to kiss his ass too much. I like to think he knows what he's doing, but you have to take the wait and see mentality, and there's really no other choice but to do so, because I'm not going to go on a limb and say, oh, he's going to make the Super Bowl this year. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say he's going to be 5-11. What I will go on a limb and say is this man is either being carried out of Philadelphia on a stretcher or on everyone's arms. And there's no in between. And fortunately or unfortunately, it's going to happen sooner than later. We're going to know after this season. Yep. Exactly where it's going. He could be in USC in 2 years.
I agree.
Or he can be signing another multi-year contract.
This is a make or break season for Chip Kelly. Yeah. And not so much with the organization, Jeffrey Lurie's going to fire him. No. I just feel like it's either going to go A or B. A, Chip Kelly is either going to win a playoff game this year, and everybody's going to be like, hallelujah, we're moving forward, it's progress, whatever. If he does not win a playoff game, that's going to be 3 straight years without a playoff victory. And people are going to go nuts.
I think there are certain situations in which he can make the playoffs and not win a game, and it's a game.
12-4 get the bye, and then lose that.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It'd be tough. But I mean, certain situations happen in a game. Like, what if Sam Bradford has a Pro Bowl year and he gets hurt, and Mark Sanchez gets hurt, and you're riding Matt Barkley in the playoff game? Certain situations to where you have to excuse a playoff loss because it is one game. You have to keep it mutually exclusive. But if he doesn't make the playoffs, that's. And there's really no major excuse for it. That's it. I mean, that's really it. He's going to be backtracking and maybe looking for other jobs at that point. You can't not make the playoffs and have another offseason like this. Another offseason of turnover.
Totally agree.
That's exactly what would happen.
Chip Kelly, a good coach?
I think he's a great coach. I think he's a great coach solely because anyone who has ever touched a football and is coaching other people who touches footballs blow Chip Kelly. Bill Belichick. Every coach who's ever coached with them. Every coach in the college ranks. Basically anyone else in college. Everyone says this guy is the Mozart of the game. He is a game changer in everything that he does. So you can't not say he's a good football coach. Is he a good game-time football coach? I don't know. He didn't win a national championship, and he had multiple opportunities. Obviously, he hasn't won a playoff game yet. But you can't say he's not a great football mind. And to be honest with you, I think we were given a little too much of the Chip Kelly sack the first year because there was no reason for them the first year they should have went 10-6 and won the division.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
He could have skated by with the 7-9, second, third place, and then had the same exact season last year and almost went to the division, and we'd be looking at completely different.
You're right.
Completely different.
Well, took over 4-12 team, and Lane Johnson was number 3 overall? Number 4? 4? They had the 4th overall pick, 4-12 the previous season, and it comes in
with a unknown quarterback situation. And remember, they were 1-3 that first season, and they went through stretches against.
Jeez, I didn't even think about it like that.
Against Dallas and New York, they were at home where Matt Barkley was starting because Foles and Vick were banged up.
Right.
Where they didn't score a fucking point.
Yep.
They didn't score a point. They're like, this guy's an offensive genius, and then they went on a roll and won the division. And now it's like, all right, we're all in on Chip. Let's do this. And then it was a big letdown last year, going 7-2, and then 9-3, and then shitting the bed. And statistically or record-wise, if you're looking at it, it's still good, but he came out of the gates firing so much that first year and continue on the second year where his expectations have been raised so much where I think it's almost unfair to him.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is. It's definitely unfair at times. But he's created this madness. He has. The turnover, and I'm Chip Kelly, and I don't care. And, I'm not talking to you. I don't do interviews. He does one interview a week, with Angelo, and that's it.
Hey, man. Belichick, nobody gives Belichick any credit, but Belichick's won for him. So he's got to get to that point. But, I mean, everything last year that went wrong is, if you think about it, it's pretty fixable. They led the league in turnovers. Unacceptable.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Their penalties were also among the league leaders, which is also unacceptable. And there were a couple of games, that they could have lost. Remember, opening day, I'm sitting with my dad, they're down 17-0 to the Jaguars going into halftime.
Had money on the Eagles, and they covered the game.
Yeah, and they still covered. But there were the first couple of games, there were a bunch of games where it could have gone their way badly.
49ers, Cardinals.
Yeah, exactly.
Badly
with the Rams. Yeah. I remember almost made a comeback.
Yep.
The Redskins was a close game until that fight, and they really could have been, instead of 7-2, 3-4 coming out. So I mean, it's I don't know whether it's really overly good or really overly bad. I mean, you just can't tell. But all we know is he's in a position right now where he's put himself in where he has to succeed and either get to the playoffs or win a playoff game, or he's dug his own grave already.
When you talk about Chip Kelly, obviously you talk about offense. I want to talk to you about quarterbacks in just 1 second, but for the first time in a long time, Smitty, I am excited about this defense. There are 5 studs on that side of the ball right now.
Their front 7 is going to be one of the best in the league. I'm so glad they didn't get rid of Fletcher Cox.
No.
I mean, I would go out on a limb.
For Mariota?
Yeah. I would go on a limb and say Fletcher Cox is probably he's definitely the most underrated player in his position in the league. I'm going to go on a limb and say he's the most underrated player in the league. That guy is a fucking
he's a stud.
Beast.
Yep.
Brandon Graham's got to really step it up. I mean, I was a big Trent Cole guy. You know, I arm wrestled him in Avalon. He's a great guy. Like, I was big on his camp. I know he's gotten old, and they kind of, I wouldn't say screwed him over, but like, let him go and kind of disrespected him. Brandon Graham has really got to step up. Michael Kendricks is entering his last year. I don't know where him and D'Amico and Kiko are going to fit in. That's going to be interesting to see. They're saying all 3 of them can be on the field at the same time. I love the fact that they signed D'Amico solely from a leadership standpoint. I'll tell you what, this Kiko Alonso is going to be a hero in this town if he's healthy. He is going to be the white Brian Dawkins. People are going to love him, the way he attacks the ball and plays the game. I have no problem with Chip trading LaShawn McCoy for him straight up.
Well,
but
yeah, I mean, and on top of that move came Maxwell.
It became Maxwell, but I mean, the McCoy trade, McCoy was basically McCoy for Kiko Alonso and DeMarco Murray. Mm-hmm. That's essentially what that was, which is a great move. By Byron, I mean, you had to do something to address the cornerbacks.
Maxwell's, I mean, there are people out there floating this idea because he's not Richard Sherman. It's like, oh, he's so weak. I can't wait for this dude to get out in the field and show everybody and shut him up.
I hope so.
He's good, man. He is long. He is lanky. He's got speed. Is he a great ball hawk defender? I don't know. To be determined. But I do know this, that when you were throwing against the Seahawks, who'd you have to throw against? You had to go his side. And he held it down.
That's
he's worth that price.
I hope so, and well, he's getting paid to play that way.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, he better step it up. I'm really excited about Eric Rowe. I really want him to step it up and win that starting position. The only thing that questions me is what's his name? Nolan Carroll is getting starting reps now.
He's probably gonna be your number 1.
Yeah. If he was good enough to start now, why wasn't he fucking good enough to start last year? That's one of the things I don't care.
He started that final game against the Giants.
Yeah,
you're right. No, look, I don't.
Things got so bad at cornerback last year where you had to do something.
Sure.
If he couldn't sniff the field then, that's what worries me. Thurman really worries me at safety. I think they're putting him there as a stopgap. Boykin, he had a down year last year. He's really got to step it up. I'd like to see him play outside. He's had a chance, but that's probably not going to happen.
He was getting reps yesterday at the one on the outside. Yeah, how about that? But Nolan Carroll probably will be your starting quarterback. I mean, obviously, it's early. I mean, we're June. We're they were training camp August 2nd, so we're a ways away. But
there's going to be an ACL here and there.
You're right about that. I mean, you're right. 5 studs. Connor Barwin. We didn't even mention him. I mean, Connor Barwin is an absolute animal out there.
He is a savage.
In that Saints game, that playoff game, I watched him cover Sproles. And that was his job. His job was to line up and bump Sproles as he comes out of the backfield and then, patrol that area. Don't cover him all the way down the field. But just think about having the opportunity to watch Darren Sproles play last year, every single Sunday. Think about how difficult of a task that was. And Connor Barwin, he ripped up what was asked of him in that playoff game, that assignment. He killed it. He had a magnificent game, an unbelievable season last year. Connor Barwin, to me, is the MVP of the defense, I'm sure.
Oh, it's not even close.
Yeah.
It's not even close. Well, besides Fletcher Cox, who statistically doesn't get the praise that he deserves. But I mean, just from the sake of attacking the quarterback and causing mayhem, Connor Barwin's one of the best in the league.
Yep.
He's where, what's his name? Where? From the Cowboys was a couple years ago in my mind.
Sure.
What's his first name?
DeMarco
Ware?
Yeah. So you got, let's see here, the 5. Maxwell, Barwin, Fletcher Cox, Michael Kendricks, all right? Those, I mean, I can't wait. And then Kiko.
I put Kiko over Kendricks.
Absolutely, but all 5.
Even DeMarco, D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah.
I'm putting him out there.
The depth at that position now, you know, and like you said, obviously there's going to be an injury. There's somebody's going to get hurt. Hopefully it's not in the linebacker core, but somebody's going to get dinged up. Somebody's going to miss time. Kendrick missed time last year. D'Amico went out with the season-ending injury. So these guys get banged up. I mean, it's a long season, 16 games, but that's one of the things Chip Kelly addressed this offseason. Said we have to get depth at that position. I'm not going into next year, even though he was trying to trade everybody for Mariota. Do you believe that? Is that true? You think he was ready to pony up?
I think he tried.
Everybody?
I think he tried hard. Yeah, I think he tried hard.
Yeah.
I absolutely. And I wouldn't have minded. I wouldn't have minded because again, guys got the keys of the ship.
Are we better right now? Are we better right now with everybody in the nest, the 5 guys that I mentioned, or will we be better off? And I'll even look to the future. I'll go now, future, whatever you want. With Mariota as the quarterback, and they would have Fletcher Cox would have been involved. Michael Kendricks would have been involved in that deal.
Nelson, the first round pick this year, who I love.
Yeah,
I absolutely love.
All that gone.
Right now, obviously not. Yeah. But in the future, 3-4 years down the line, if you got your franchise guy, you got your franchise guy. That's why I wouldn't mind making the move. And I think Sam Bradford is a franchise guy if he's healthy and performs the way a number 1 overall pick should. It's. Obviously, you have a couple of your busts in there, Tim Couch, Derek Carr, off the top of my head. But you look at his offense from Oklahoma, it was basically a dumbed-down version of what Chip does, minus the read option stuff. It's quick decisions, getting the ball out and being accurate. And he won the Heisman doing that. So if he's healthy and is able to put the ball where it needs to be, the sky's the limit for the kid.
Yeah.
It really is.
No, I agree with that. Now, one thing that, all right, so we touched on the defense, Chip Kelly. Now, obviously, let's go back to the offense, and you started teeing things up with the quarterback position. I don't, do you think it's an open competition?
No.
It's not.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, it's based solely on Sanchez's performance last year. And I was all in on Sanchez. I thought he was going to have a resurgence. He was a number 6 overall pick. Stud at USC. Made 2 AFC championship games. I thought this would have been the perfect situation for him after Foles went down.
It was.
I mean, yeah, it was. To really step up. And when he won on Dallas Thanksgiving,
nothing better.
I'm like, this guy, he's going to get paid. He is going to get paid next year, whether it's by the Eagles or whether it's by somebody who's going to get paid. And the fact of the matter is, he didn't get a lot of help, but against Dallas and Seattle, the 2 games, he just had to win one of them. He didn't look good.
No, he did not. And the thing about Sanchez is, the turnovers come.
I know.
You just know it's coming.
You can't put him in a position where you ask too much from him, and unfortunately, if you're going to win a Super Bowl, you got to be able to do that.
Yep. No, you got to. If you have to throw the football 50 times, you don't want to.
Yeah.
But if that's the way the game goes down, it's what you got to do. You got to step up. Sanchez had his opportunity. You're so right. I mean, dude, how amazing was that Thanksgiving game? Was that the best Thanksgiving of your life? I mean, it's the best one in a long time. Let's put it that way. I'm up with my girl's family. They're diehard Eagle fans up in Schnecksville, outside of Allentown, and we're hugging. We're wasted at the end of the game. Nobody drove home. Everybody spent the night. That was like the best Thanksgiving ever. And then they lost 3 straight.
Yep.
And then they lost 3 straight.
They lost to Dallas, they lost to Seattle, and then
Skins.
That's right, Washington. That's
yep.
Right. And season was over by then anyway because the Cowboys won out. But.
It was, and it was just frustrating because a lot is on Sanchez's shoulders, and I'm not going to sit here and blame anybody about the Seahawks game because they were a better team. Obviously, look what they did.
I've never, ever, and I apologize for interrupting.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I've never witnessed a game that was within 10 points that felt like it was 100. The Eagles couldn't do anything. That secondary was mean.
Yeah.
Straight up mean. That entire secondary either belongs in jail or on the Eagles. One or the other. I don't care. Yeah. They didn't let anyone get separation. I've never seen anything like it.
Sherman swallowed Macklin. And Jordan Matthews was swallowed by Maxwell.
Cooper had no chance.
No shot.
No, none of them had a fucking shot.
No, and the only time the Eagles scored in that game was what they dropped. And they still was 4th down, right? They scored at the goal line.
Yep.
I mean, they couldn't even get it across there. But going back, those decisions, obviously, it's on Sanchez's shoulders. I get that, but I thought Chip Kelly. He fell short a little bit down the end of the stretch, down to the end of the season in some of those games.
Well,
and I'll give you two things off the top of my head. One, Bradley Fletcher. Now, it's obvious, okay, who else are you going to put out there? Is that what you're going to throw at me? No. The bottom line is you have to help him out.
Yeah.
And they had Nate Allen over the top, who sucks, all right? Who had 4 interceptions last year, more than Kerry Williams, might I add. And fuck Kerry Williams. But Nate Allen over the top, and you got Bradley Fletcher going up against one-on-one on Dez Bryant in that Cowboys game, and that was a winnable football game. You had to win that game. You just beat them on Thanksgiving. You fumbled away that kickoff, which screwed us. And I'm not saying that's Chip Kelly's fault, but his coaching decision to allow Bradley Fletcher to remain out in that field frustrated the balls off me, and not having help over the top, because Nate Allen stinks. If you got to go cover 2 and I'm going to go X's and O's on you, that's what you got to do. You got to do that. I mean, we got picked apart in that game, and that pissed me off so much. And then in that Redskins game, having Sanchez throw the ball 9,000 times, you got to do something different. Like that. That's your Super Bowl. That's your season right there.
Yeah, well, the Redskins game, I think, was a lost cause and was a big letdown game. I don't put every year they're going to have a letdown game. 2 years ago it was in Minnesota when they were running hot. Last year it was obviously the Redskins game. Dallas and Seattle, they just got beat. Like, there's no excuse for that. But I agree 100% what you're saying with Bradley Fletcher and Dez Bryant. I mean, everyone saw it. I mean, the nation saw it.
And then come back with it when Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah,
again, but that's what I'm saying. Like, Chip Kelly's not perfect. No, I love Chip Kelly. And like you said, it's hard to talk about him and not blow him because he hasn't won a playoff game and all that. He's an amazing offensive mind, but some of his coaching decisions, I'm like, Chip, dude, slow it down. You're better than this.
With Deshaun Jackson, it gets to the point. Like, I 100% agree. You need guys who fit your culture. And in the college ranks, it's easy because you're recruiting them and you're picking and choosing. In the NFL, obviously not everyone's going to be like that. If Deshaun Jackson was that much of a disturbance to the locker room, and even like Evan Mathis too, okay, like let him go. But you also have to at least try to make them adaptable in your culture. If you're just going to say everyone, hey, you don't agree with what I'm saying, you don't fit in, fuck you, get out, it's not going to work in this league, especially with the egos on some of the superstars. You got to adapt to the talent that's given to you, and that's where I'm really worried about Chip, is he's overlooking culture when it comes to talent, which I agree, it's a very, very big part, and it's very Belichickian of him. But even Belichick brings in head cases, Randy Moss, LeGarrette Blount, Corey Dillon, and he makes them believe in the culture. Why hasn't that happened with Chip with some of these guys?
No, you're right. It's like my way or the highway. See ya.
Yep.
Evan Mathis, I didn't agree with that. Obviously, he was just cut last week. I didn't agree with that. He was reporting. Okay, so he missed a couple of workouts.
Yeah.
Suck it up, Chip. Suck it up. And it's kind of a little slap in the face. I'm happy that everyone's buying in, and I love Jason Kelsey, but it's like, all right, dude, I get it. You're all pro. You're chipped up. Come on, man. Let's look at it from our perspective, the fans' perspective. They were better off with Evan Mathis at that guard position than not having it.
I mean, you're talking about the greatest athletes in the world. I mean, talent has to come up a little bit. You have to adapt them to what you want to do instead of trying to, I don't even know, just trying to fucking cut them and say fuck you or pay me.
Obviously, with the Deshaun Jackson stuff, it's funny because Deshaun was, in the Cavs, the Cleveland Cavs, game 3, whatever it was, or I don't even know what it was, but he was front row at the Cavs game.
Yeah,
he was missing minicamp and all that. And then Shady McCoy, who is just the biggest scumbag ever. I hate that dude. I mean, you can't throw things out. I mean, in this day and age,
he's immature.
He's immature. Especially the shit that's going on right now, where there is real racism out there, all right? And for you to fucking come out and be like, Chip Kelly's a racist, he clipped in black people, and then Stephen A. Smith popping off on ESPN, that shit pissed me off. I'm like, dude, talk about some of the real shit. You want to go down that road. Let's talk about some of the fucking corrupt cops out there and all the other shit that we can get into if you want to talk about racist issues. Not fucking Chip Kelly. That pissed me off. Fucking Shady McCoy is a piece of shit in my book.
I mean, he's immature and he's butthurt. He acted like a kid. There's really nothing more to that.
Yeah.
And, the guy's being basically, everyone's been pumping his tires his entire life. Everyone wants him, whether it was at Bishop McDevitt in Harrisburg, staying in the state at Pitt. being really happy he's around his crew in Philly.
Snowball. I was ready to like get a tattoo of Shady on my arm.
Everyone's been pumping his entire life, and finally somebody doesn't want him. How does he react?
Interesting.
He reacts like a kid.
Yeah, you're so right. You're so right. Spot on with that. No, that's a good way of looking at it. No, it just bothered me. And I don't know if you caught this clip. I don't know if it's out there, if it was new or whatnot. It's out there, but I don't know if it was new. Rob Dyrdek on MTV. I was, on Facebook. Somebody posted it. And whatever show that he does, it's like the video clip show.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. With that hot blondie.
I cannot stand that show.
I don't. MTV. What happened to MTV?
Well, I mean that's a different.
Yeah, we can go down on that. But he was up on there, and apparently Dyrdek is not an Eagles fan or something like that, and he was just like, I hate the Eagles. And Shady gets up, he's like, come on, give it in. It's like, dude, like enough. Yeah. We had love for you, man, and we still, even though you were traded, we still had love for you. Mm-hmm. You had your moments that you were like, all right, Shady's a little bit of immature, like you said, but with that whole racism, he cut all the good black players. It's like, fuck, dude, that pissed me off.
Because Todd Herman was really, really black, totally black.
And then let's talk about the guys that he signed. Murray, Matthews. I mean, it's just nonsense. And then ESPN allows Stephen A. Smith to get up there and do that.
Oh, that's
that's
a whole other rabbit hole.
You're right. Let's finish up with the Eagles. I gotta get your take on this. Why is Tim Tebow here?
I don't agree with it per se, but I mean, why not? If Chip thinks he can get something out of him,
does Chip think he can get something out of him?
Well, I mean, first of all, we're talking about a fucking fourth string practice.
He's not making the team.
No, he's not.
He's not making.
It's a non-issue. It's really a non-issue. There are people that blow it up, or people who love Tim Tebow and want to see him succeed. Like Chip's looking at it as a business move. Like, okay, extra points get moved to the 1 yard line. Let's bring in Tim Tebow. Let's see what he can do. Maybe he can help us out in that aspect. Maybe he really has changed up his throw motion working with that cat, who's apparently an amazing quarterback coach.
Who he's paying. He's paying. Yeah. It's like my agent. If my agent was out there going, I don't know if you'd hire Sean Brace, he kind of sucks. What the fuck, dude? I'm paying you.
But, I mean, from a business aspect, are you going to take a shot at someone who potentially could help your team? Or are you going to keep on the roster G.J. Kinney, who has been in his practice squad, so they're about to move to wide receiver? That's a compassionate move from the Eagles' standpoint, just giving him a shot. I feeling bad for the kid, just moving him to wide receiver.
I feel like I should get a G.J. Kinney jersey.
Well, I think the reason they did that is because if Tebow doesn't work out, they'll just cut him and put GJ back into the practice squad.
And I haven't been down at the mini camps, and it sucks because I wanted to get down there yesterday, but I can't imagine Tim Tebow looking better than Matt Barkley. And I'm not a Matt Barkley fan.
Absolutely.
Matt Barkley.
Absolutely.
Give me Matt Barkley over Tim Tebow any day.
Yeah, maybe Tim Tebow can come. I don't even want to see it. Maybe he can come in and spark an offense for like a second half of a game. But if you need a guy to start 4 games at a time for you, it's not even a question. And Matt Barkley sucks.
Yeah.
He sucks.
Yeah.
He's got an arm of a fucking noodle.
And he's throwing an interception.
Yeah.
You know what's coming.
I'd hitch my wagon to him over Tim Tebow any day.
All right. That was our Eagles conversation there. And if I'm going to break this video up into parts, bang. So this will be part 2. Let's get some fun and games in here if we can. Smitty, you are a Philadelphia fucking man. What do you like about Philly? Like what keeps you here? Why are you not somewhere else? Why, dude, when you think about it, our weather sucks. Our sports teams are terrible right now. The women in Florida you're a single guy, they're beautiful in California and down south. Like, why are you still here? What do you like about Philly that keeps you here?
It's a job opportunity.
So what?
And a lack of money.
You can't do Barstool Tallahassee or Barstool, Knoxville?
Well, I love my entire family's from the suburbs. I grew up in Malvern. My mom's side has been in Malvern for a fucking century. My dad's side has been in Phoenixville. So, we grew up pretty as blue collar as a middle class suburban family can grow up. I've been down. Growing up, my dad and I, we had at least partial season tickets to all the sports teams besides the Flyers.
How long?
We had partial season tickets to the Sixers when they started getting good with Iverson. And I remember going down to the finals with them. We went down to Phillies games all the time. He got season tickets to the Eagles the year McNabb was drafted. We had him ever since. And we go down to every game together. It's literally the only time my father and I hug outside of weddings and funerals.
Yes.
I mean, it's at Eagles games, so we just have a connection. So I mean, the sports aspect and the underdog aspect really, I love Philly. I absolutely love it. I love the fact that we're hated. I absolutely love it. And I moved to New York for about 2.5 years.
You lived in New York?
Yeah.
The city?
Yeah,
Ooh.
right in Manhattan.
Wow.
And I'm not gonna lie, I loved it in New York. If you have money,
yes,
New York is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. You can do whatever you want there. Yeah, if you're broke, it's kind of,
it sucks.
It's awful.
I mean, you're talking four beers, it's like $45.
Oh yeah, well, it's beyond awful. It's beyond awful. But I mean, my family's here, my friends are here. Like, why? What else do I need anywhere else?
All right. No, that's a good answer. I for the first time in my life, I'm 34. How old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay. First time in my life, I was California dreaming. I was like, and especially when I got, removed, I was like, oh shit. I kind of had a feeling that shit was going to happen because dude was released in December. And I was just like, all right, there's going to be some changes. I don't know if I'm going to be part of it or whatnot. And I floated the idea to the girl, and she's like, let's go. My old man is going through some issues right now. Kind of sucks. Father's Day is he's losing his fastball a little bit, but and they're in Raleigh, North Carolina. So it would have been a tough stretch. California, North Carolina, blah blah blah. Yeah. So that kind of put some water on that thought. But the fact is I was California dreaming about the weather. I mean, we get 4 months of like warmth, and then it's gone.
Of hot. It's not even warm. It's hot.
It's hot.
It's boiling.
And then it's gone. And
I agree. Everyone goes through the California dream stage. I had a job offer in LA right when I moved back from Philly from New York, and I was thinking about it. But I mean, when it comes down to it, I'm a huge pussy. I can't go out there on my own. I'd be too scared in like a foreign
land. Dude, you would
slay it. I'm not an adventurer. I'm not an adventurer.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a homebody. I'm a mama's boy.
All right.
So I'm happy. I'm happy getting little home cooked meals every once in a while. Being a hour drive away from home, max. Like if I'm out there and something goes wrong,
okay,
not gonna be pretty.
No, that's
So I'm a pussy. I mean, that's basically what it is.
You said it.
I'm a huge pussy.
That's great. That is great. One of the things that we do love about Philadelphia, or being so close to the Jersey Shore, you are an Avalon guy. How did that happen? You don't strike me as an Avalon guy. No disrespect.
My parents, we rented, actually my great aunt has a little shack in Stone Harbor that we used to go down to, like literally one bedroom shack that myself, my uncle, my entire immediate family used to go down to. We used to pile in, all 15 of us every year, and that would happen since I was an infant. And so I was a Stone Harbor baby pretty much, and it just evolved. I mean, you go through the progression. Once you graduate college, you're a Sea Isle guy for, until the proper age tells you to get the fuck out of here. And then if you're still not married, like then you graduate to either Avalon, or if your boat floats that way, Wildwood. Yeah. And it doesn't exactly. I don't have enough tattoos for a Wildwood, and I'm not Jewish enough for Margate, so you got Avalon.
I love it. I love it.
It is a little higher class than what I'm used to. Everything down there. But
absolutely.
I mean, it's great. It's just great to get out on the beach or just day drink on the bay. I mean,
where's the spot in Avalon?
Usually like right across the 21st Street Bridge. We got or it's not my place, but like the Bay House has like a huge story flag. It's the best house in Avalon. Sit there on rafts all day, play beer pong. It's magical.
Okay, all right.
It's the closest thing to heaven outside of Field of Dreams.
This is the part where I invite myself and I say, I'm gonna be down there.
Hey, you bring a case?
Done.
You're more than welcome.
Done.
Just roll up.
Your favorite drinking spot in Avalon?
I mean, there's only two.
No, that's it.
I mean, there's Whitebriar Happy Hour, and then there's Princeton, which are the two big spots. I'm a big Fred's guy in Stone Harbor. That's like the dive. That's the closest thing to a dive bar as you're going to get. If you really want to get messy, rocking chair, but that's when you really get messy. I mean, we hit up the same spots. I mean, people see me all the time down there, going to Whitebriar Happy Hour and then to Princeton after, because I mean, there's literally nowhere else to go at night.
Okay. Have you ever ventured to Delaware? Dewey? Like,
no, I have not.
That's my.
I have not. Really, Dewey. I hear good things.
2 years ago.
I hear wild things, actually.
You can get that. You can get whatever you want. You can get, shit-faced, Sea Isle style if you want. You could be a little, up and go to nice restaurants like Avalon and stuff like that if you wanted to. But Dewey/Rehoboth. I do Dewey. And then, we go out to some dinner or whatnot. We go to Rehoboth. But I love it, man. I did it 2 years ago, and I am absolutely hooked. If I was to buy a beach house right now, it would be in Dewey Beach.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And it's different because it's like you don't see people that you see.
Yeah, well, that's my one issue with Avalon and Seattle. You see the same people every week. And
every summer.
And every summer.
Yeah.
And it starts up here. You love everyone, and by the end, it's like, got enough of you, kid. Like, it's enough. I'll tell you what, I've been down to Ocean City, Maryland twice in my life.
Yes.
Down like Secrets. I gotta get back before I get too old. That place is wild.
I'm from Scranton. That's where we went.
To Maryland?
Yes, we went to Ocean City, Maryland. I never fucked with the Jersey Shore. Ever. I didn't even know about the Jersey Shore.
They don't have like cabanas while in Paupack?
Dude, I love the Paupack. Paupack is nice. Striper season. Go and get you some striper. Nah, dude, we never messed up. We were so stupid. I was thinking about this the other day. We would drive down. Yeah, exactly. 17 years old, pissing out the window, and that doesn't work because it goes all over you. 17 years old, drinking on the way down from Scranton to Ocean City, Maryland, just to go for the night. Like, think about how stupid that is. And we didn't have a place. Like, that was so dumb.
I mean, that's Scranton.
Yeah,
what else are you gonna do?
Exactly. Yeah, we never messed with the Jersey Shore. And then all of a sudden, when I moved down here, when I got back up here in 2004, I learned the Sea Isle and I was hooked. Yeah. And Avalon was like, different style, but I prefer Avalon right now. But I still go to Sea Isle.
Yeah, the one thing I love about Sea Isle, Avalon, and Wildwood, it's basically it's all Philly transplants. Like, you're all family down there, essentially. You go north, you are an outcast. Yep. But at least South Jersey, you know what you're getting into.
Absolutely. We got about 13 more minutes here because, like I said, I wanted to keep it under an hour. So there's some different things I wanted to get to, but let me slide some other sports stuff in real quick. 76ers upcoming draft Thursday night. Have the third overall pick. Do you feel like I do, where Towns is going 1, Okafor is going 2, no matter what?
Right now, yes.
And then the Sixers will have their choice between Moutier or Russell and
or Latino guy, Lativo, what's his name?
Kristaps Porzingis, I believe is how you pronounce it.
I mean, I think that's all going to go on how I heard there's a slight chance the Lakers still want to Russell, but I don't believe that.
He's good.
I think if Okafor's there, they got to take Okafor.
They have to. How could you pass up Okafor?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Like, from the Lakers situation.
If I had my decision, I think I'd take Okafor 1, to be honest with you. That guy's a beast.
And Jay Billis said it.
Yeah.
Jay Billis said it the other day. He said Okafor is the number 1 player in the draft.
But I think the Sixers situation, it's all going to depend on how real Embiid's injury actually is. I think Hinkie, deep down in my heart, is being a shady motherfucker and release that information
100%.
To just kind of rattle the cages a little bit and see what happens.
I think it's Summer League. Because if you look at it like this, if you remember in March when that Embiid had that setback, 2 days before that news came out, what was he doing? He was doing the in between the leg dunk pregame. So you see that, and you're in the NBA, and you're like, wait, this motherfucker could do that dunk, but he's not suiting up? That's bullshit. I mean, so that's why Sam was like, all right, take a step back. And then now, Summer League's approaching, and everybody wants to see Embiid play in Summer League.
Yeah, no, he's not going to play in Summer League. No. They're going to be extremely cautious with his injury. I'm not going to lie, I hate sounding big time because I'm not, and I actually was chummed there. But I've been over to Embiid's place before and watched him play video games because that's what went on there.
You hung out at Joel Embiid's house?
Yeah.
How the fuck did that happen?
One of my friends is friends with him. Not one of my friends, when Embiid and Noel came into the city, he kind of sugarcoated him and took him under their wing to showed him around. I mean, these guys they know what's going on.
Absolutely.
This guy's like a 33-year-old lawyer. He's great guy. But we kind of just kissed their ass and got into their crew or whatever. So he hits me up. He's like, "You want to go to Embiid's house tonight?" And I'm like, "Sold." So we go over there and there's Embiid sitting in full Sixers garb watching or playing himself on NBA 2K15, shakes our hand, and there we are, 6 dudes for like an hour and a half, just watching him play video games. But I'll tell you what, the second girls got in there, he fucking steps right up. I mean, he's a kid. He's 21 years old. Yeah, and he acts like a kid too. He steps right up.
Check his Twitter feed.
Yeah. Picks up a basketball, starts doing post-up moves by himself in his living room. And I'll tell you what, that foot didn't look fucking hurt. Didn't look hurt at all.
Anybody say that? Yo, get out there now, Joe.
No, I was too scared to say anything. One of my buddies tried to whip out his phone, and Embiid just like lashed at him. Oh yeah, you got it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I would if I was.
Motherfuckers on post-up moves right in his living room. Like, what are you doing, dude? There's like girls, beer all around. I mean, granted, if I was a 7-foot black NBA superstar in the making, like I don't know if I'd do anything different.
Yeah,
I mean that's what he was doing.
I think Bieber has that contract.
Then we went to rumor.
Did you went with the rumor with Embiid?
Yeah.
Nice.
I wouldn't call it that. But
no.
It was just standing around with Joel. It was literally standing around with Joel Embiid, which was awesome. Like, I mean, we weren't doing anything. We were just standing there.
So, if you called him right now, would he know who the fuck you are?
No, absolutely not.
No,
absolutely not.
No, Joel Embiid, he's everything. And I think that the recent news that came out, Adrian Wojnarowski put it out there last Saturday, 9 o'clock, 9:30 at night, is because of the Summer League. Sam does not want him playing.
Yeah, I think it's a little embellished. And in fact, through the inside sources I have, the MRI came back and it wasn't like there were structural issues around the bone that was cause for concern, but it's not anything serious and he doesn't feel any physical discomfort. He's doing everything exactly the same, and the fact that he might miss all next season, if that ever happens, will only be solely because they're going to suck again and be precautionary.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. So you think at number 3 overall they go who?
Right now, I think they go Russell, to be honest with you. I think they might trade down with Orlando some way, somehow, and get Moutier. But, I mean, that's just be hinky in the making. But right now, if Russell's there and the two big, if Okafor and Towns are there, I mean, you got to take them.
Yeah.
You got to take them. I mean, I don't care if you put 5 big men starting. You can deal with that talent later.
Yeah.
Like, you got to take that.
Because no matter what they do, they're not going to win the championship next year.
No.
So you see what you got, and then you go, okay, now we'll package this big for this guard, and now we got something cooking 2 years down the road.
Exactly.
You don't pass up on those guys.
Exactly.
Totally with that.
But I take Russell right now if I was on the clock.
Same here. I think we're all on that. That's next Thursday. Looking forward to that. Since we're talking about the 76ers, how about that Andre Iguodala?
I mean, good for him, I guess. Like the guy.
No, tell me how you really feel.
That's how I really feel. Like, I'm indifferent, to be honest. People were hitting me up and just like, oh, you think about Iguodala, I guess you guys don't hate him anymore. It's like, we never hated him in Philly. Like, we liked him. He was just overpaid and asked to do too much. And that was fucking, who's the GM that time? It wasn't Billy King. It was the Stefanski. Yeah, he signed him to the huge contract. It's like, I'd take that money. He threw it at me. He was just asked to do too much, and his contract was atrocious.
But his attitude towards us, the fan base, was sour because he was never treated like AI.
Well, because he wasn't fucking AI.
Well, and he took that. He holds a grudge against this city.
Well, I mean, and it is what it is. But I appreciate him. He's put in a perfect situation.
God. He doesn't even start. He doesn't start.
Comes in, plays defense, shoots a couple shots, plays one off his athleticism, and good for him.
He had a great series.
Amazing series.
Except from the free throw line.
Yeah, but I mean, if Steph Curry has half a better series than Andre Iguodala, he wins MVP.
I was pissed. I don't think he deserved the MVP. Because I look at it like this: if Steph Curry doesn't play in that series, they're not winning that series.
Yeah.
If Andre Iguodala doesn't play in that series, they're still winning that series.
It's all facade anyway. Who gives a fuck?
No, you're right. Because if
people were voting for LeBron and they lost.
Steph didn't get one vote.
Yeah, he shouldn't. He had a bad series. He did. He had a bad series.
Yeah, but like you said, I mean, come on, man.
I agree if he's not out there.
The quarterbacks always get the MVP. Like Eli won it the 1 year, he didn't deserve it.
He won both times.
Did he? Oh yeah, both times. But the 1 year, it was like you should have given it to that defense. Yeah. I mean, and it's just. I think we could look back at whatever quarterback that's been able to win the Super Bowl MVP, and you're like, did they deserve it? But the quarterback, Steph Curry is the quarterback of that offense, the quarterback of that team. He deserved it, and for him not to get a vote was bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, that's just LeBron lovers.
No, you're right. You're right.
Who absolutely deserve some credit, but you didn't deserve the MVP just because they lost. You can't do that unless you're Hextall in '87. Then you can do it.
Nice. All right, so we're under here. We're about 5 minutes. I'll get you on 2 things that you tweeted out, man. Follow him on Twitter. What's your Twitter handle?
At Smitty Barstool.
Please. Yeah. Amazing follow, and I'm not just blowing you because we're in the living room here. But what is the deal with the D3 coaching gig? Please explain to me that you are not going to... Like, tell me you're going to be a coach.
No, I'm not going to be a coach. I found a Division III... I played Division III football, but I played baseball in my life. And there's a local college, Cabrini College, who's starting up a baseball program. And I know someone in their athletic department. I'm like, I want to apply for this job. Is there any hookup you can give me? He's like, apply for the job, and no. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just write a blog about it. And I started writing a blog. And, I was going through it and just, reading all the requirements. I'm like, the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I want to fucking coach baseball now. So that was just a spur-of-the-moment tweet. I didn't even finish the blog because I'm just like, it wasn't even a funny blog because I was actually, putting together a real resume. I'm like,
yeah.
Second team All-SCCL 2004.
And he has that award hanging up right there on the wall, so check that out. 2 quick things before we get out of here. Are you a Game of Thrones fan?
No, I'm not.
You're not?
Yeah.
What's your TV show of choice?
That's not on Netflix. I don't really have much. My weekly shows. I watch The Americans every week when it was on, which I love. Veep. I'll watch.
So you're like
John Oliver.
I love John Oliver.
Yeah,
love him. It's probably not the good question to ask you, but I'm still do you have? What's the rule behind DVR right now with the social media? If you're TiVo in a DVR or whatever it is, can you talk about it on social media? What's the rules right now? For me, I think that you're an asshole if you're on social media and you expect not to stumble upon a spoiler.
Yeah, there's millions and millions and millions of people on social media. If you don't want spoilers, then it's your responsibility to stay off.
Stay off it.
Yeah. So that shouldn't even be an issue.
It's new rules.
How is that even an issue?
That's what I'm putting out there. If I was running for president, that would be the first thing that I'm putting out there. If you missed the episode, stay off of social media because I'm allowed to talk about it.
Yeah.
All right.
I remember watching The Walking Dead back when it was good.
Yes.
I can't stand it. I'd given up watching it a season and a half ago because I couldn't stand. I watched that show for a good 2 seasons just out of hate. It was like I was hate fucking a girlfriend for 2 years too long. I kept watching it. I hated myself for it, but I couldn't stop watching it. I'm glad I gave it up because I just got angry, so angry. Doing it. I
still watch The Walking Dead because and I just can't give it up. I hate it. It's the worst show ever.
Yeah.
The way they it's so bad. It
just angers me more that I hate it so much, but people actually love it. That angers me more than it's actually sucking.
I
had to give it up. I had to get on social media all during. I can't deal with it.
This is how crazy I am. I watched The Talking Dead after.
See, that's even worse.
I hate the show.
That's even worse.
And I still can't stop watching it. It's so bad. And I watched that Chris Hardwick.
Yeah. I used to hate Chris Hardwick so
did I,
man. Yeah, I actually like him now.
He's good.
Respect him. He's pretty good.
He's talented.
Yeah.
He's really good. I almost think, I am. I'm going to call a hot rod. We're going to end on that. That was so good. Hate fucking, that's just brilliant.
It is what it is.
Dude, Smitty, Barstool Sports Philly, he is a fucking goddamn legend. I love this dude so much. Thank you very much for a couple minutes, brother. You are the man. We would definitely do this again if we could.
Yeah.
If you're down.
Yeah.
I don't know how the Barstool people feel.
Oh,
they don't care.
Any exposure is good exposure.
And Jesus, man, those dudes are amazing. Big Cat, is that his name out in Chicago?
Yeah, he's riding high right now with the guys in the Stanley Cup. I don't have that pull. I know a couple of Flyers. I met them. I'm friendly with them, and they know who we are. There's mutual respect. But I'm not getting fucking phone calls to come over to Patrick Sharp's house and to hang out.
And Prez is up there in Boston.
Prez is
who staged up Brady sit-in. Which is just brilliant.
Yes.
Barstool Sports is phenomenal. I give it up, and
that's what I mean. I wish we were good down here in the sports so we can do shit like that. But
one day, Smitty. One day, I dream.
It affects a lot. It affects the blog so much because now I have to think of material to create instead of just waking up in the morning. It's there.
You could write about Radio Wars.
No, absolutely not.
Good.
I can't stand talking about the fucking media.
Good for you. Yes, that's how we end it. Smitty, Barstool Sports in Philly. Follow him. Tweet at this motherfucker. Tell him you love him. I appreciate you guys checking out PhillyInfiltrator.com. Hit me up with any questions, comments. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that bullshit, please. And we will definitely do this again. Everybody, thank you very much. Have a wonderful weekend, because when you do play this, it will be Friday. Peace and love. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much for tuning in. Peace.